Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I am coming to you from nowhere but my son's room. Because let's face it, sometimes these kids are just way too loud to be able to video anywhere but kind of locking yourself in a room for 5 minutes. So they're downstairs, they are cleaning, they're doing their chores, and they told me, Mommy, go ahead and go film a few videos. And so I went ahead and I took their advice. I don't know if you guys could hear them down there. Oh my gosh. So this video that I'm bringing to you today is all about our family Christmas traditions. Now I literally sat down for only 5 minutes and I just listed out as many as I could think of in that time frame, and I think I came up with like 20 of them. These aren't all the Christmas traditions that we do as a family, but it's some of them, and so I thought I would tell you more about each of them. So the first Christmas tradition that we've been doing as long as I can remember is the 24 Christmas books. So it's kind of like a book advent calendar where we wrap up 24 Christmas books, and every single night the kids get to open up a new book and we get to read it out loud as a family. So a few years ago I kept on buying different Christmas books for this, but now we just tuck away our Christmas books after Christmas time, and then the next year we just wrap them up again, and all the kids are super excited because they haven't seen these books for a whole entire year. So I'm saving money and they're getting their favorite books every single year. The second Christmas tradition that we participate in is Elf on the Shelf. My kids absolutely enjoy coming downstairs and trying to see what these sneaky little elves are up to. So we used to only have one elf that my daughter named Toby, but as our family expanded, Santa felt like we needed more elves to keep track of these kids. So he sent a girl elf, and her name is Charlie, and she helps keep track of the kids. So sometimes these two little elves are mischievous and make little messes, and other times they're super fun. So this morning we found them next to the kids' like Barbie fireplaces basically. So I guess they just want to curl up and enjoy the fire. I feel like every single year these sneaky elves throw our underwear all over the Christmas tree. We found them a few weeks ago in our fridge. Oh, the other night when we had a sleepover underneath the Christmas tree, the elves snuck their sleeping bags in our dining room, so they must have had their own sleepover also. I know another one that our elves did this year that I did show on a previous vlog was they snuck into this room that I'm in, my son's room, and they put hair bows on Batman and tried to steal the plane that is in my son's room. So the kids really enjoy it. They're super sneaky and we never ever catch them. The third tradition that we like to do is that we always bake Christmas cookies, and usually we always hand them out. I have to say this is the first year that we're not handing them out that I can ever remember, but with COVID I don't know how comfortable everybody is, and so we just cut back on how many we're baking. We might still hand them out to our really close friends and family that I know they feel safe with, but as far as we usually go around the neighborhood and put plates of cookies on everybody's doorsteps, we're just not going to do that this year thanks to COVID. But the kids really enjoy making these cookies, and they really enjoy decorating the cookies. So the fourth Christmas tradition that we always do is that these kids always write Santa a note. So usually their note includes how old they are, where they're from, what kind of Christmas list they want. So usually these notes include what their Christmas list is, but we do kind of limit it so that it's not 20 things on one Christmas list, because we all know Santa is very busy and he doesn't have time to read everybody's Christmas list if it gets too long. So we did do this the other night as the family. Then we have a little Santa mailbox that sits underneath our Christmas tree, and we get to send it to Santa that way. So number 5 goes along with it, is we usually always visit Santa every single year. We find him somewhere in our town and we get to go and tell him what we want for Christmas. But this year, because of COVID, we did not participate in this. And so we've just ramped up a few of the other things that we end up doing to make it a little bit more fun. And we made sure that our Christmas notes were very, very clear so that he still knows. Along with Santa is usually we go to a local festival that happens in our area, and they decorate trees, and you can bid and buy them, or you could vote which one is the best. And usually they have performers there and they have Santa there, and we just have a lot of fun doing this every single year. But again, because of COVID, this is not happening this year, and so unfortunately we missed out on this. After we bake our Christmas cookies, we always set them out for Santa. And so we have a very specific plate and mug that we put his milk in, and we put his cookies on there, and we can never ever forget the carrots for the reindeers, because those reindeer, I'm sure, get so hungry by traveling all around the world in one night. Number 7 is one of my favorite things, because it usually gets the holidays kicked off, is that we always decorate together. We always put up the Christmas tree together. We always do the whole house decoration together. So I want my kids to always remember taking out every single ornament and getting them on the tree and putting things over the fireplace and hanging the stockings on the stairwell. Like, I want my kids to be part of it and not all of a sudden just look and it's there. So they take so much pride in being able to do this. And our main Christmas tree, we have 4 of them in our house, but our main Christmas tree is our very personal Christmas tree. So every single ornament on there has a very personal reason for it. It's been bought for a specific reason or a specific memory, and so that tree is usually the most fun to be able to put up for all of us. So number 8 is that we always drive around and look at Christmas lights. So most years this is on Christmas Eve, but some years we just do it on a different day, depending on if there's going to be weather or if, unfortunately, mommy has to work on Christmas Eve. This year I do have to work, so we're going to do it a different night, but we always put on our PJs and we end up making hot cocoa to take along with us and some snacks of cookies or popcorn, and we drive around our town looking at all our favorite Christmas lights. So we're very, very blessed in the area that we live in. So many people decorate for Christmas. They really go all out, and we enjoy nothing more than going around and enjoying what their hard work has done. So on Christmas Eve, number 9 is we always track Santa online. We want to know when he's starting to get close to the United States or close to Iowa, so that we can make sure that we're all tucked quietly in our bed and we're sleeping, so that he does not have to skip our house. And so even though I work this year, luckily I will get home early enough to be able to look at this with my kids, but then they're going to have to go directly to sleep. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure we won't be asleep in time for Santa to come. Number 10, and like I said, none of these are in a specific order. I just thought of little fun things that we do, and I wrote them down in a list. So number 10 is that we always make a countdown. So we make those little garland rings that, like, you have a circle and another circle and you end up taping them together. I forget what they're actually called right now, but we always make one of those, and usually it's red and green, the obvious Christmas colors, and every single day we're able to tear off one ring so that we can see how close we're getting to Christmas. So the kids always enjoy this and have so much fun, and they get super excited as our chain gets smaller and smaller. So number 11 is that we always do an advent calendar. So we always just have one advent calendar, and I've always gone very, very little on it, and it's just a chocolate advent calendar. It's nothing special. It does have a little verse on the back of each day that we read out loud to each other, and each kid participates. So the first day our oldest gets the chocolate, the second day the second oldest, and so forth and so on. But I did see this year that there was a Disney advent calendar, and it was only like $20. And so I'm pretty sure next year I'm going to go a lot bigger on the advent calendar, because the kids are getting older and they really, really enjoy doing this. So my husband got a very special advent calendar this year. It was from Costco, and it's the 24 days of beer. And so he got an alcohol advent calendar, and he's been enjoying all these German beers, and he gets to open one every single day and try something new. Number 12 is another one of my favorite Christmas traditions, and that's watching all the Christmas movies. So we kind of watch these Christmas movies throughout the year, but we double down basically during Christmas season and rewatch all of them. So a few of our favorites, at least my absolute 2 favorites, is Elf and The Grinch That Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey, that one. So I also love the cartoon How the Grinch Stole Christmas, because growing up, every single Christmas we would drive 3 hours up to my grandma's house and we would always watch that with all the cousins, and it was so much fun. So it's a great memory for me, but we absolutely love both of those. So my kids also love all the Home Alones, all like 57 of them. And then we also love National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. But I do feel like we usually wait until the 3 littles are in bed before we end up watching that one, just because I feel like it's just a little bit above their level. There's so many more that we enjoy watching, but we always make sure to do a lot more of these. So number 13 goes along with our favorite movies. We love to have a Polar Express movie night. So I always print out a Polar Express ticket for the kids, and my husband hole punches it just like on the movie, and they have to have that ticket to be able to sit down and watch the movie. And we cuddle up with our pillows and our blankets and usually a snack, and we just enjoy watching the Polar Express all together. So number 14 was new to us this year, and I think it's mostly because the kids are all old enough to finally participate in this together. It is having a slumber party underneath the Christmas tree. So we just did this a few nights ago. It is in one of my vlogs. The kids absolutely loved it, and all of them woke up the next morning saying it was the best sleep they ever had. But it was so funny because when we told our 4-year-old that we were going to sleep underneath the Christmas tree, she took it very literal, and she went and got her pillow and blanket and started shoving it all the way underneath the tree. So I had to explain to her all it means is that we're going to sleep underneath the light of the Christmas tree. So around the sides of the Christmas tree instead of under. They all did so well. I was so fearful that nobody was going to sleep or anything, but if anything, they slept better than normal. It's definitely a tradition we are going to continue. All right, number 15 is that we always buy new ornaments for each other for the Christmas season. So great grandma always buys each of us a new ornament anyways. There's a certain series for each of us from Hallmark that she ends up getting, and those all go on our main Christmas tree. But usually we'll go out and we'll find fun little ones for each other also. And this year, of course, I had to buy the infamous 2020 Christmas ornament that has toilet paper and masks, because all of us will look back on this Christmas and always remember what kind of year it was. So great grandma's ornaments are so special to us. We absolutely love opening them and getting them out of the box every single year and thinking of all the memories that those hold. And so I really hope this is a tradition that will last forever, and my kids will also do it with their kids as they're growing up. Number 16 is also one, unfortunately, we cannot do this year because of COVID, but usually we host an ugly Christmas sweater party. And so part of that is a beer tasting party. Everybody just finds the most random beer that they can find and they end up bringing it, or wine. And everybody has a taste test, and we usually have prizes for the worst beer and the best beer and the most creative beer. And then of course there's always a grand prize of who has the ugliest Christmas sweater. So usually I have fun and I go out and I find a trophy from like a Goodwill or a secondhand shop somewhere, and I decorate it really poorly so that they're so super proud of this trophy that they get each year. Another new tradition that I want to start this year, which it's very late for this, but my kids will still enjoy it, is hiding the pickle ornament on a Christmas tree. So I was trying to figure out if this would only be on our main Christmas tree, but I think that my kids are old enough that literally I'm only going to have one pickle ornament, and I will hide it between the 4 Christmas trees. So they have to find it looking throughout 4 Christmas trees. And I think they'll always enjoy this and have fun. It's kind of like searching for those elves every morning, except for they get to search for a pickle instead. So the next thing that we do every single holiday season is that we always participate in a toy purge prior to Christmas. We also do this prior to birthdays. But basically we go through each kid's room and we purge whatever toys we feel is appropriate, especially if they're broken, those get tossed out. But that way we are making room for the new and is teaching our kids that it's very nice to donate to other kids. So sometimes we have specific families in mind that we donate it to, and other times it just goes to a local charity that they can end up dispersing it, or it goes to Goodwill that others can purchase it even for their Christmas present. Another one that we had to miss because of COVID this year, but they did do it virtually, is the Canadian holiday train. I think it's the Pacific Canadian holiday train. And so this is a train that travels around the United States, and it literally is decked out in holiday lights, and they only stop at certain towns at a certain time. And we've been super lucky the last 2 years that they've stopped at our town at nighttime. And so it's even more special. In our town, there's only Santa and Mrs. Claus walking around to greet everybody. Usually they have hot cocoa for everyone, and they have some Christmas vendors that you can go around and buy their merchandise. But then as soon as the train rolls in, everybody goes up to it and they drop down one of the sides of the train and they put on a live concert. And these guys are really, really good at what they do. Like, it's so much fun. Our kids just sit there and they dance and they have so much fun and they giggle. And I think the last couple of years it's actually snowed while we do it, which to me just adds to the magic of it all. All right, we're down to the last two things, and these two things are specific to Christmas Day. And I'm sure I'll probably ramble on a couple extra ones that aren't on here, but we always make cinnamon rolls for Christmas morning breakfast. So the kids really, really enjoy this and look forward to it. But then last year, I ended up starting a new tradition that was so funny and we all laughed so long. We have a banister that hangs down into a hallway, and so I tied donuts onto yarn and I ended up lowering them down that the kids, without using their hands, had to try to catch the donuts in their mouths so that they could have them. So we ended up eating breakfast and then we waited until this for a snack for the afternoon, but they had so much fun doing it. And we even had the donuts swinging back and forth so that the kids were kind of running after it and like trying to chase it with their mouth. It was so much fun. And so I really, really look forward to doing that one with my kids again. So our Christmas morning is usually very, very slow and happy. So usually my kids know that they can't go downstairs until everybody is ready to go down together. And so mommy and daddy usually go down to make sure Santa has made it that night, and then we get to watch the kids run in and see the excitement on their face. And everybody knows that is like the magic of Christmas. Usually they're able to open up their stockings while we're getting the cinnamon rolls in the oven, and then they can play with whatever is in their stockings. And then after we eat our cinnamon rolls, then we're able to sit down and start doing presents as a family. So each kid also gets to draw another kid's name during the Christmas season, and they get to buy a special present for that kid. And so as they're getting older, this is almost becoming more fun because they really keep the secret from the other person, and they're super proud on Christmas morning to be able to hand over their gift. They also get to wrap this gift all on their own, which they are so proud of also. So this year I'm so excited to see the excitement on their face. We have had so much fun with our Christmas traditions. I'm getting ready to get done with this video so that we can do some Christmas paintings that I had bought. And we're just gonna have so many family memories. Like, I try to make sure that my kids really know that making this family time is priority. Make sure to like this video if you have many Christmas traditions that you participate in. Also, please write them down below, because maybe I could find a couple new ones also to participate in. And also make sure to just spend so much family time. Hold each other close. Try to love on each other and just have tons and tons of laughter. So Merry Christmas, everybody.